Another day, another Republican or six entered the race for the White House. And today, it was former New York Governor George Pataki. Yesterday, Rick Santorum jumped in to plug the holes in everyone's boats, which brings the total count of Republican candidates up to 896. Now, somehow we're going to have to narrow the field, so let's talk to our panel about how we're going to whittle. It's Joanne Nosachinsky, co-host of Red Eye and correspondent on the brand new Greg Gutfeld Show. It premieres Sunday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific on the Fox News Channel. Michael Malice, author of Dear Reader, very good book, all about North Korea and Kim Jong-il. He's got a license to ill, and he writes about it every day. Paul Mercurio, comedian and host of the Paul Mercurio Show. Hi, panel.
Hello.
Hi. Hi, Hop Threesome. Welcome aboard. So, Paul, how are we going to narrow this field down?
Good old-fashioned Aaron Burr-Hamilton duel.
Yeah.
Give him some guns. I don't think you need to narrow it down. I like the big field. I think it's
what does the big field do for?
Well, it's competition.
What does it do for the country?
Well. You want the competition. This is a big job. I think it's good to have a bunch of people in the mix. It pushes people to the limit. It's a big job. It's the president of the United States. It's not a useless job like poli-sci professor. You need to be really good at this job.
But there aren't that many people who are really good at it. I mean, I would argue that there aren't 75 people or even a dozen who are qualified to be
But you don't know until the process plays out.
But you know what? It's just like when you're watching American Idol.
Sure.
You know, when you have the 12 people versus the 5 people. When the 12 people are there, people are like, I don't know who to vote for. I'm going to wait till it whittles down a little bit.
Exactly.
And people don't really get jazzed about it until there are 5 really great contenders. So while I agree that diversity there is wonderful, it can be overwhelming if there's too many choices.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Bernie Sanders talking about deodorant here. You know, last night I was arguing that it's poor economic policy to say, you know, proliferation of choices is bad. But here, I think that too many presidential candidates makes hungry children.
I think we should just put them on an island like Survivor, which is the purest expression of democracy we have, and have them vote each other off and fight it out. I mean, don't you want to see Rick Perry doing puzzles and Ron Paul untying knots and Lindsey Graham swallowing all sorts of gross things?
The alliances would be interesting.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I would actually like to see that, and I would like to see them grouped up based on alliances.
The Hawks versus Libertarians.
Yeah, could you imagine? That would be just like Survivor.
That's what I said.
I think
That's why you're so smart and brilliant and wonderful. That's why I love you.
I just think it's good for, I mean, all around. It's ironic, though, like for a party and a group of people that don't believe in evolution, that their mandate has to be only the strong survive, right? Like it's.
That's not what evolution means either, though.
That is actually not what evolution means
You think
at
of
all.
Herbert Spencer.
Yeah, and
your
that's,
homework.
yeah, that's social Darwinism, and it's not an acceptable metaphor here. Hey, let me call my evolutionary biology professor and get a better one.
Wow, I just got on the nerd train. Wow.
Remember Obama phone lady? Remember her?
You got Obama phone?
Yes, everybody in Cleveland, low minority, got Obama phone. Keep Obama in president, you know? He gave us a phone.
He gave you a
gonna
phone.
do more.
So hot. The FCC is about to propose an update to the law that makes those government-subsidized phones available to the poor. The proposal will allow program participants to apply their discounts to standalone high-speed internet service. And this program goes back a long ways. I mean, it's not like Obama invented it and said, let's go to poor communities and give people free phones.
Right.
Back to the Reagan
Yeah, this goes back to Reagan and Bush and everyone else.
It's like how Ron Paul said that if you subsidize something, you're going to get more of it. And do we really need more people yapping around their cell phones while they're walking around? I think we should have, thank you, I think we should have some kind of cell phones for muzzles program. You give them the cell phone and get a muzzle instead, and have a nice, peaceful country where people keep their mouths shut.
I think the cell phone is fine. I have a problem with sort of this idea of like digital equality and expanding it to like broadband and internet, because if the one thing that low-income people need to be productive is the internet, does it really make us more productive? And what are they missing? Reruns of Dukes of Hazzard? I mean, I don't understand why it's necessary.
I do think the internet is very important for jobs, a lot of job interviews, applications, a lot of things you have to submit
Monster.com and whatnot.
via internet.
Certainly.
But if we do this, Obama will be responsible for the death of the public library, because that's why people go. There is free internet there.
They steal my
Use
books.
it there.
They steal my $5 to give it to the poor for free.
They have free internet at places like Starbucks.
McDonald's has 24/7.
McDonald's, yeah, exactly. So maybe we should just bypass the free internet and just give everyone a free MacBook 12-inch.
But this is also,
It'll help the economy.
Yeah, or give them like all of
everyone a
the
computer.
extra billions and billions of AOL CDs that are lying around. Can't they use those?
yeah.
What about the guy that's on TV? He's like, trauma product.
Yeah,
Like, if you ever wanted to learn how to use a CD-ROM, trauma product. But, Joe, you think that they should go actually further?
Yes.
You think that they should be
I
giving
think
out...
everyone should get an HBO Go account. Because Game of Thrones, that will improve your life.
Or you could be
Sex
disappointed.
and the City reruns?
Sex and the City reruns.
Curb Your Enthusiasm?
I learned so much from that show.
Paul, studies show that the internet actually adds to depression. I mean, aren't we just adding to depression?
Yeah,
by
it adds to my
encouraging
depression.
people?
Yeah, I mean, look, that woman seemed perfectly happy without the internet, right? She's screaming about her cell phone. I just don't think that sort of adds anything to your life. I mean, I understand on some level it makes you possibly help you get a job, but I think that's a small percentage of people.
You sound like a condescending old man.
What about dating? How are you going to find a date now? You
How
need the internet.
how you
How
gonna
you
way
swipe?
I do. Rufus
How
at
you
the
gonna
Port
swipe
Authority.
if
You can't swipe on a toaster.
Can't swipe on a toaster. And that is something that you can hashtag and use for later.
Right.
We love our panel, and no problem is too big for them. They're going to return to tackle apocalyptic earthquakes, a worldwide epidemic, and anything else that has to do with mass casualties that I might throw at them.
We can't stop it. We can't prepare for it. It will be a global event.
That is my voice. I'm a songbird, and I sang the soundtrack from Hollywood's latest disaster movie, San Andreas. It's about the big one hitting California. There is a 93% chance of a magnitude 7.0 earthquake striking in the next 30 years. And LA Mayor Eric Garcetti hopes this film will serve as a wake-up call for Californians to be prepared. Our panel is back. It's Joanne Nozaczynski, Michael Malice, Paul Mercurio, and a lot of fun from three big minds with gorgeous hearts. So, Joanne, is the best way to prepare being hysterical?
Of course.
Yeah.
You want fear in your people, of your city.
Yeah.
Listen, I think that the mayor really just wanted to go to this film premiere. He wanted to walk the red carpet, do the whole dinners and things, rub elbows with the celebs,
Sure.
and just wanted to be able to write it off. So
He took his little autograph book and, and got a signature from The Rock.
He had to, you know, make a platform out of it, you know, and say he was doing some work, advising his
That's
people.
the only way you can justify the expense. You're absolutely right. Should he have gone further?
First of all, I think it's great that he takes this harsh political stance of being against earthquakes. I mean, this is really the bold leadership we need in today's America. But the other thing
so
is,
many politicians waffle on them. They don't offend the pro-earthquake crowd.
do you stand under the door? Do you not stand under the door? But the point that's funny is, he has a point. You don't want to be high and dry, but I guess nowadays in Los Angeles, you don't have a choice.
Waka, waka, waka.
We worked on that together. But I mean, to me, it's like the idea of this movie allows you to be prepared for this. It's a little bit. It's like Mad Max allows you to prepare for the importance of road safety. It's like
feminism.
it's a complete disconnect. And I'd rather see him. He's an elected leader, and he's looking to Hollywood to lead and educate the public. You know, he really should be spending his time on important things like running for governor. I mean, that should be his focus. Because I think if this movie prepares you for one thing, it's really bad acting, like really bad.
Yeah, maybe.
Like a lot of people just yelling, "Run, run!"
Why aren't you running?
Run!
Because there's a chasm.
I love
You're about
you.
to swallow me whole. Just like my honeymoon. As we're preparing for disasters, Bill Gates was asked what he sees as the greatest worldwide threat. Bill?
I rate the chance of a nuclear war in my lifetime as being fairly low. I rate the chance of a widespread epidemic far worse than Ebola in my lifetime is well over 50%.
Yeah, he says that about 33 million people could perish at the hands of one of those widespread epidemics worse than Ebola. Yeah. Tens of millions of people, that's hardly a drop in the bucket. Spanish flu, which he's kind of comparing it to, killed it killed 28% of the population.
Right, and
it killed about 25 million people.
Right, over 20
and and that was like a third of the world population at the time.
The Black Death.
an epidemic killed 33 million people, it would be sad, but it would only be 0.5%.
But also these things happened before we knew about hygiene and we knew how to triage things and keep people in control. What the real big threat from Bill Gates is the heart attacks you get when your computer goes down, then you're wondering if all your data is backed up, and even if you know it's backed up, you still are freaking the hell out until you get it back. And that's happened to me twice in my lifetime.
Exactly.
Is that when you switched to Mac finally?
No, I haven't. I'm straight.
Get out. Shocking.
It's, to me, it's like he can afford to say this and not panic. He's Bill Gates.
Yeah.
When it hits, he's going to be protected. We're going to be beating his personal biodome to get in. He's got
but he's got like a $60 million house that's,
kidding me?
that's like 75% built inside rock.
He could take care of the 33 million people by putting each of them in a sterilized bedroom in his mansion, and nobody would have to see each other.
That'd be great. Okay. I mean, but you actually say the fact that we don't see each other very much is what's going to save us.
Oh, for sure. Back in the day, you'd take care of your sick family members. Now it's like, I don't want to be near you. I don't want to touch you. We try not to interact. We try not to have the human interactions at all. I think that Bill Gates just needs to spend some of that money on some Xanax.
He does.
And just relax a little bit.
He's worrying way too much for a guy who's got, $70 billion?
Well, he sits in his empire and he just spends his whole day reminding us to update on Microsoft Office. He needs to sort of really come up with a plan. I mean, he's putting money into it, but to scare people like this who have if it hits, what am I got nothing. It's coming, and I'm getting.
All Bill Gates proves with this hype and hysteria is that he's becoming the next Howard Hughes.
Yeah, only without the interesting part.
Microsoft Aviation is next. All right, you guys, we're going to see a little later in the show. It's going to be so good. My Adidas, your Adidas. Welcome back. You may remember the surveillance video of a woman texting while walking at a Pennsylvania mall, and there she goes. Oh!
Hilarious. Every time.
Good night, Sally. 1 minute, she's typing one of the fun Twitters. The next, she's taking a swim. May seem like a strange occurrence, but guess what? A new study says it's not. The National Safety Council, those commies, they say there's been a dramatic rise in the number of people injuring themselves while walking and talking on their cell phones. 11,000 injuries were reported between 2001 and 2011, including broken bones, strains, and concussions. Our panel is back to Anna Zaczynski, Michael Malice, and Paul Mercurio.
I like the way you say that.
You do?
Yeah.
It's operatic. Yet loving.
Whenever I get announced, I want to have that playing.
Okay. I'll record it for you. You can use it as your ringtone. Joanne, are you guilty of this?
Of course. I walk everywhere. I live in New York City. I get bored as I'm walking, so I want to see what's up on social media.
You're bored in this city.
Sometimes a walk takes a while, but
look, there's a homeless man relieving himself.
Whenever I cross the street, I don't, because drivers and bike riders are really dangerous, and sometimes they aren't paying attention, and that's the issue. When you're crossing a street, that's when it's really dangerous, so don't do it then.
That I can understand a little bit, but this article said that a lot of these injuries happen in the home.
That was shocking.
So, maybe your phone isn't your biggest problem if you don't remember, where you left the stairs. Literally people, and then, apparently 80% of the injuries were the result of falls, and 9% of those suffered, serious, concussions and stuff like that. My guess is that none of these people were walking to the library to read.
I love and I don't love death. I don't welcome it. I don't celebrate it. But the fifth leading cause of death in this country is unintentional injuries. But the weird thing is intentional injuries were the sixth leading cause.
Oh. I mean, that's suicide. I mean, that's going to be high up there. But the thing that's we've always talked about how technology is making the difference between reality and virtual reality fall apart. And now, thanks to these phones, everyone has become a sitcom for our own amusement. You could just sit there and you see someone texting, and there's that lamppost, and you know they're going to hit it, and you sit there and you laugh. It's like banana peels replace the concrete streets.
Right. And it's if you're texting all the time, I understand that, because if you're injuring yourself while texting, nobody wants to be around you. You're not safe. Nobody wants to be anywhere near that
I just love
person.
the term distracted walking.
Yeah, I know. Exactly.
That's because I am so clumsy. I broke my foot standing up wrong.
What?
Yeah, it's true.
Oh.
After sex?
Oh. No, I actually broke my femur after that.
Wow.
Another story for another day.
I saw that video.
Yeah. Not this one. A new romantic comedy, Aloha, starring Bradley Cooper and Emma Stone. It's going to hit theaters this week. Watch.
It's Hawaii, our old stomping ground. Aloha. Gilchrist, you're back in the game.
I want to introduce you to your Air Force liaison. She's a fast burner.
Double espresso?
Morning, sir. I'm so jacked for today.
Make that a triple.
Now, some Hawaiians are upset about the title, saying it is disrespectful and exploitative to use the island's sacred word, aloha. Paul, don't you love it when people are preemptively offended?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, no one's seen the movie, but all of a sudden everyone's up in arms for a number of reasons.
Let's have a meeting to be offended. First of all, I want to say to all the fans watching in Hawaii, aloha. And I mean, to me, the quote that jumped out at me is that they're talking about our sacred word and they're going to make a lot of money off of it. That's what we do in America. We make money off of sacred things. There's a trademark. Is nothing sacred, and it's put on T-shirts. Like, so do they not get this whole process that we live in?
Oh, you're so racist against Hawaii.
I don't care for them. I don't care for the skirts, the pig, or the diabetes. I don't care for
Oh,
it.
I love the spam.
Yeah.
I love that they have big spam sections in all the drugstores in Hawaii. But you actually like the idea of this film because there's another minority being shown here.
Yeah, so a lot of people are complaining that this film has whitewashed Hawaii. 30% of the population of Hawaii is Caucasian. The film is showcasing a minority group. And we should be applauding that, shouldn't we?
I didn't think of that.
Yeah, and you love Hawaii, Michael.
Well, if I have to be the one to say it, I'll say it. If you're getting offended that the movie is using the term Hawaii, you need to get laid. High five.
Well done, sir.
Thank you.
He's talking about a string of flowers around your neck. What he's saying is that everyone has to go visit Hawaii, a place that I love very much. And they have to reconnect with the earth and the spirit of aloha, which overtakes you, and so do the night marchers. A picture of a bride and groom. Google that, night marchers, Hawaii.
Ooh,
you're not going to be able to sleep, that's all I'm saying.
it's not as good as that movie.
A picture of a groom and a bride at their wedding has gone viral. While the two appear happy, they're looking on as a guest proposes to the maid of honor, who happens to be the bride's sister. The bride maid of honor, yeah, they're pretty close, and the bride insists it was her idea, but a debate has erupted on social media about whether or not this is cute or completely unfair to the bride. What do you think? Is this a no-no, Nozachinsky, to propose at someone else's wedding?
This is a hell no at a wedding. You don't wear white. You don't interrupt as a joke when the priest says, no, if you're a guest, Paul. You don't interrupt when the priest says, does anyone object? And you don't propose, this is the bride's day. I originally thought this was a hoax, but you look at those faces, and even I can't act that well. Like, those are real faces of excitement and shock.
I mean, to spend all that money on a wedding and then be upstaged by that couple, I would get back at them. If I were the married couple, when they got married, I would conceive at the head table of the wedding.
Oh. She's not getting upstaged. You see what they're wearing? She's in coral, he's in turquoise. They don't need a wedding planner. They need a makeover. And listen, clearly
every wedding in the country.
Clearly this guy is giving her what she wants, which is attention at all costs, no matter what anyone else says. And that's what every woman dreams of.
Well, the bride's day will be memorable.
But do you believe the bride who says, no, this is my idea, I love my sister? You don't believe her?
No, absolutely not. Why would you want to literally thousands and thousands of dollars are spent on that wedding? That was the most inappropriate. I would throw the bouquet through that bridesmaid, not at her. I would literally like go nuts. I almost said something.
You would beat her about the head, shoulders, and face.
I would. She'd probably beat me up. But,
Exactly.
You like that? You like how that tastes?
How would you feel if that happened at your wedding? You'd be like, oh, that's so cute. That's okay. You would be like fire from your eyes.
I had so many people at my wedding.
Yeah, but nobody.
Baby, I was looking good. That's all that mattered. Yeah. It was sassy day.
I'd marry me so hard.
Over and over again.
I look at my wedding picture, oh, man, sorry. Oh, wait.
Was it strapless?
Are you asking me about our wedding night?
No, just no. The I didn't go to the wedding night. I said, "Were you strapless?" I didn't
wow, it's a family show.
Outrageous!
Like
outrageous!
A strapless thing.
Aloha, Paul. Aloha.
And that means goodbye.
Yes. Thank you.
Wait for my new movie, Shalom. No one's gonna like that.
Paul, Michael, and Joanne, you guys, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Lovely and perfect as always, except for the offensive remarks.
Why is strapless offensive?
I'm not. Coming up, you might want to think about grabbing a cold one. Viewer mail in tonight's nightcap.